We are going to get started lying on the back, and you can have the soles of your feet together and your knees extended open if that feels okay. On the hips, you can also always choose to straighten the legs or maybe bend them, soles of the feet on the floor. And we'll place our hands on the area of the abdomen, so on the digestive system, kind of intuitively. So wherever your hands would like to land. And knowing that you can always move them around at any time. Just start to drop the energy and the attention, the presence of the mind, consciousness into the space of the digestive system. Virgo rules and governs the digestive system. And part of how we can embody and contemplate these cosmic energies is by connecting into the spaces the zodiac signs themselves govern in our physical bodies and just seeing what's there. So maybe your digestive system is making noises, maybe gurgling, or maybe there's movement, maybe not, maybe there's stillness. Invite your breath down into this space. At the same time, letting the energy of the hands offer something, warmth, energy. We are in Pisces season, so there's been quite a bit of traveling in the subconscious dream realms. In this full moon, we might ask ourselves, how are we digesting that traveling? Our digestive system so intelligently deciphers what to absorb and what to release. So this might not be something that's literal, but you could think of it as an opening. May we absorb that which offers us nutrients, nutritious energy, nutritious uncoverings. And may we release that which is not in service to our energy, to our harmonic flow of life. And take a moment and sense into the energy of the moon. Though it's not in its fullest expression tonight, it will be tomorrow. It is growing in light. Even though we're inside, we can still have access to this glow. Opening the energy body to the cosmos while still holding the digestive system in our awareness. And just notice what happens, if anything. See if there's any spaces in the physical body that are clenched or held. Often full moon energies can be intense or create an unsettling resonance in the body. So you might consciously invite the nervous system into a space of unwinding, letting the jaw unhinge, releasing any tension in the forehead, softening the backs of the eyes. Letting the nervous system know it's safe will automatically have an impact on the digestive system, letting it know it's safe to express itself, to work its processing. Whenever you feel ready, you can bring the knees together and extend the legs out long, reach the arms up over the head, and find a long body stretch, reaching fingers to toes and feeling the space in the abdomen. Maybe taking a breath or two here, reaching, and rolling over onto the front line of the body, onto the belly. We'll set up for Sphinx pose. Separate the feet, mats width distance or hips width distance, and prop yourself up on your forearms. Elbows are directly under the shoulders, gazing forward to start, feeling a lengthening of the throat. Once you settle in, again, you might drop your attention and your awareness down into the abdomen. When we think of the organs, we often think of them only in the front space, but they're also in the back space. So feeling this compression. We have our kidneys and our adrenals in the back area. And how is the digestive system influenced in this posture and this shape? If it resonates, you can always drop your chin to your chest and let your head be heavy here. Otherwise, continue just to keep an upright gaze. You are welcome to stay here in Sphinx pose. You could also move into Cobra, so walking your palms out just a little bit, pressing into them and lifting the chest to find just a little bit more compression. We won't be here for very long. Taking a few conscious breaths and seeing what you can soften. As you're ready, releasing down into crocodile pose for a breath or two, stacking the forearms, resting the forehead on the stacked forearms or maybe on the floor. And letting the front space have a momentum of unwinding. The digestive system snuggled close to the earth, breathing into the earth. belly down to the earth. You might imagine or sense into the energy of the moon once again, grazing and basking the whole backspace in its soft yet powerful glow. Breath by breath, pressing up onto your hands and knees whenever you feel ready. Take some intuitive movement of the spine just to get a little bit of blood flowing. Whatever feels good, arching and rounding, curving from side to side. And you'll take your bolster if you have it, or again, maybe a firm pillow. And if you don't have one, that's fine too. We'll place it kind of in between the knees and release the upper body onto it for a supported child's pose. You can rest one ear or the other ear. If you don't have the bolster, totally works just to find your way into a regular child's pose. So settling in, if you do have a bolster or a firm pillow, you could invite a little bit of compression into the abdomen. Very gentle, very nurturing. Relaxing into the weight of the bones, the structure of the bones. When we think of Pisces season, there's quite a bit of watery energy. It's very unseen, subconscious, dreamscape. And when thinking about the spring season, about new life sprouting into physical form, you might have this imagery of the unseen, dark soil and seeds being planted or starting to grow from underneath the soil and into the seen realm, into sprouts, into blossoms. And we're in that energy of new life just sprouting. It's not quite there yet, but it's pressing forth. It's pushing through. It's right underneath. And this full moon in Virgo can illuminate a structure or maybe boundaries to help this flow from the unseen to the seen. You can think of the landscape of a riverbed. And the water that flows through the riverbed and has momentum or a container to hold its flow. to usher it forth. So Virgo offers this medicine, this wisdom. What are these day-to-day structures that will help to usher that which is unseen into the seen realm? Breathing into the digestive system. Slowly pushing yourself up to have a seat and pausing to take in any energy shifts, however subtle they may be. Finding your way to your hands and knees once more, you're welcome to take movement or to be still. Eventually, we'll work our way into melting heart. So hips stay over the knees, and then walk your hands out forward as far as they'll go until your forehead makes contact with the earth. Finding your position in melting heart. And I don't hold that position because it's hard to speak when my head's on the floor like that. But this will lengthen the abdomen. So you could imagine your intestines, your stomach having space. This luscious open space, letting the organs stretch, the digestive system stretch. And simultaneously, you might also notice sensation in the armpits and the chest. Breathing into length. Inviting gravity to flow through the system. To help you find a connection to the earth, to guide you. Yin is about yielding to this force of gravity. Allowing the system to pour. To rest into. And in this practice, if things start to feel intense or edgy, you can always remember that we have options and choices, that we can back away or ease out, take a break. We can also choose to build a relationship with that intensity, to breathe with it, to notice our nervous system's reaction to it. And from melting heart, we'll find our way into child's pose for a breath or two. So hips to heels. You can release your arms by your side or maybe slightly bent out in front of you, but letting the shoulders have a break. Tracking sensation. And find your way back up to a tabletop. Bring the right knee forward. So it's behind the right wrist. We'll set up for a sleeping swan or half pigeon. That back leg is out behind you, toes untucked. And you can walk the right ankle as far up towards the left wrist as possible. We're welcome to stay here, breathing into the hips for however long you'd like. When you're ready, fold forward, releasing the head onto the hands, the arms, maybe a block. Another option would be to take this posture on the back, crossing the right ankle over the left knee, and then pulling that left knee towards the chest, or resting the left foot on the ground and letting the right knee open this way. So finding an expression and settling in. Tracking and listening to the body. Or maybe even letting the mind just float in daydreams. In yin, we just let everything be. Jaw is soft. Hands are soft. Your organs can release down towards the earth. Nothing to hold on to in this moment. And again, if sensation gets edgy or intense, remembering your options to breathe into intensity, to shift out of it, to maneuver the shape that you're in. Making choices that honor kindness to yourself. As you're ready, start to find your way out of this shape. Palms press down, press back into tabletop or downward dog. You might pause for a moment to notice any differences in sensation, any new space. And then, if you'd like, you could find a little movement, working into that space in a conscious way, shifting energy. We will move into the other side, shifting the left knee forward. That left ankle can maneuver its way up towards the right wrist as much as possible. Maybe taking a few breaths in an upright position and folding forward as you're ready. Virgo is an earth sign. And We might think of the body as our earth bodies, our clay bodies. They are quite literally the vessel through which the unseen realm can flow. And in this inquiry of structure and maybe daily routines and boundaries, this could be in the realm of self care. How do we care for our physical bodies in a way that the unseen realm can flow through? Through our words, through our hands, through our hearts. Giving the physical body permission to completely rest into gravity. Every cell gets to unwind down towards the earth. And in this unwinding, we start to access our connective tissue, our fascia, this web of tissue, this system that helps us find form, posture. Breathing into the natural shape of where your body decides to be in this moment, and sending the invitation to continue to yield with no pressure, just an invitation. A radical permission to just be exactly as you are. Sensation, thoughts, emotions, energy, striving for nothing. As you're ready, pressing your way up to either a tabletop, downward dog, or any other shape that would feel good. Pausing for a moment to observe. And maybe taking a little movement. Shaking, stretching, unwinding. Next, we'll find our way into yogi squat. It can be helpful to take this from downward dog. Essentially, you'll step your feet behind your hands in a really wide position. So it looks like this. You want your heels down. If you have a block or a book or something, that can be nice to sit the hips down on. If this is not accessible to you, you're also welcome to hold something like this just to kind of get into the hips. We won't be here for very long. You can place your palms together in front of the chest and your elbows gently press into the knees, letting there be an opening here. Again, breathing down into the digestive system, sinking your awareness in this space. And giving the hips permission to receive gravity and to unwind little by little every moment. Softening the jaw. You might even close the eyes or keep a soft gaze. And release the hands down. You could lift the hips up for a moment if you want, feeling a flush of energy. You could also sit down, moving out the hips that way, whatever would feel good. We'll eventually find our way down onto the back. And from the back space, hug both of your knees into your chest, massaging out the lower spine. Extend the left leg out long. Keep the right knee bent in. We'll interlace all 10 fingers over the shin, pressing the heels of the hands around the shin and pull the knee in towards the chest, maybe a little outward towards the armpit. Maintaining a softness in the right leg. It's a tool to help us find compression in the abdomen. Squeezing the elbows in towards the waist. If you'd like, you could engage the left leg, but you could also keep it soft. Pulling and breathing, inviting compression. Release that compression, move the knee a little bit forward, and pull it across the body for a spinal twist. You are also welcome to keep both knees bent if that feels better on your back. Opening into a twist. Compressing the abdominal region, opening the heart. Our physical digestive system holds so much intelligence. There's millions of neurons here. It's quite literally called the gut brain. And on its own, it chooses what nutrients to absorb and what waste to excrete. There's no conscious decision on our end there. So sensing into that awe, that intelligence. Then in that energy of digestion, with all of the waters of Pisces season, all of the dreams, the symbols, the subconscious realm, we might trust that our spirit, that our maybe soul or our energy on its own knows how to digest. That it's not something we have to consciously cipher out or be in a logical mind about. We can simply create space and send an invitation for ample digestion. May we absorb and let go of in a harmonious way all of the uncoverings of the watery realm of Pisces season. May we create a structure for the flow of that which we absorb to come forth into life. Coming back through center, hug both the knees in, lengthening the spine. We'll take a moment in a resting pose on the back, just a breath or two to observe the shifts and the changes side to side. And bring the legs together. Hug the left knee into the chest, interlace all 10 fingers over the shin. Pull the heels of the hands around the shin bone. And actively pull the left knee towards the chest, maybe a little outside towards the armpit. Elbows move towards the waistline. That right shoulder blade stays in contact with the ground. And the left leg is soft. compressing, breathing, softening. Move the left knee forward and pull it across the body for a spinal twist in the other direction. We'll share this writing from Pixie Light Horse called Honoring New Life. Thank you for the abundant life force that pulses within us and enthusiastically welcomes the spring times we are waking up to. It's a blessing to feel the warmth of the sun on our heads and the moist soil of Mother beneath our boots. Thank you for spotted fawns, for thorny asparagus, for peonies, for the promising snow melt, for cherry blossoms, and new hash marks on our growth charts. Thank you for fresh buds and green sprigs, for early birdsong and chittering squirrels. Thank you for renewing our souls with hope as the season turns over. Let us think of every project as precious seeds. Guide our hands to plant with love, to water the rose with diligence, and to treasure the sowing process as much as the impending harvest. May we plant with conscious intention. When we have a very good idea, help our minds align with our hearts to know if it is the one to set in the soil. Let love drive the plow. Find us lying on your breast, Mama, under the blue sky nation, sprouting with each raindrop, breathing what the plants breathe, seeing what the birds see, feeling what the rabbits feel, and sensing what the snake senses. Teach us to care for and preserve your invaluable resources so that the snakes, birds, rabbits, deer, and plants can continue to thrive, as well as the children. Instill in us the belief that we can create a world we can be proud of and leave the earth more beautiful in the process. Inviting the natural digestion of the physical body to work its magic, and the natural digestion of the energy body of the soul and the spirit to work its magic. Surrendering into a harmonious regrowth. Coming back to center. Hug both knees into the chest, wrap the arms around the shins. Grabbing for opposite elbows, we'll take a full compression. Actively pull the knees in towards the chest, but softening what you can. So the hips, the legs, the back. As you're ready, find your way to your final resting pose. Of course, taking any last movements you'd like. You could cover with a blanket, prop yourself up with any pillows, and settle into stillness. Nothing left to do. A deep state of being. Feeling the growing energy of the moon above in the cosmos. Moonlight reflects on the center of the forehead. Moonlight in between the eyebrows and on the tip of the nose. Feeling moonlight graze the cheekbones. Moonlight reflect on the lips, the center of the chin. Feeling the moonlight on the collarbones, the shoulders, the inside of the elbows, the center of the wrists, the middle of the palms, and the tips of each finger. Moonlight grazing the center of the heart. Moonlight reflecting on the hip bones, glazing the center of the pelvis. The knees, the ankles, connecting into the soles of the feet and the tips of all 10 toes. Moonlight bathing the organs. A reflective, healing light from the sun. The gentle glow of the moon. Saturating the whole abdomen in healing light. The digestive system, the stomach, the intestines. Bathing in moonlight. Harmonic energy, healing energy, a gentle glow. Nothing to do now but just soak, saturate, absorb, and allow. Be here for a minute or so in silence, and then I'll give you the option to be guided out. You're welcome to stay here even after the call, resting in the healing energy of stillness and moon bathing. If you'd like to be guided out, you might start to invite some intuitive movement into the body, however small or big that might be. You might deepen the breath. Find a long body stretch, reaching the arms over the head, the toes out long. And rolling onto either side. And pressing yourself up to have a seat. Placing your hands wherever feels intuitive, maybe on your heart, maybe on your lap somewhere. Maybe the thumbs press into the third eye, palms together. Taking a moment and sensing into the fact that we are experiencing this practice in community, though we're not in physical form with each other. Our consciousness is experiencing this in a collective. And feeling how, as we practice peace within ourselves, we practice balance, we practice nourishment in some way that has an effect on the energy of all living beings, that we are connected to all life forms just by being in these bodies. And may this practice extend out towards the well-being of the collective. Really holding this wish for all living beings to be well. Holding that in every cell of the body, sending that intention out in all directions. May we truly find harmony. We'll end with one breath, exhaling the air out of the lungs. Taking a breath in through the nose, filling the belly, filling the chest. Soft and gentle exhale. And thank you so much for sharing in this practice with me. I hope that you have a beautiful full moon cycle. I love these classes so much, and I'm so grateful that each of you chose to be here with me this evening.